Bonjour, minogisi ganekwe nandashnakas, anemiking nindoji makwadoram. My name's Kathy, and I'm a teacher here at KHS, and I'm from Fort William First Nation. Angela has asked me to speak to the land and climate change, soil, and share my opinion as a Anishinaabe and how our world has changed in the 50 years that I've been alive. And one of the other things that Angela asked me to speak about was invasive species as a result of climate change. So when you think about climate, it's not just about what the weather is like today, if people talk about it being much hotter than what it used to be, but every level of life is affected. We did not have ticks here when I was a little girl. That's something new. We didn't have pelicans and we didn't have cormorants. Those came in from the west around the Fort Frances area, and they consume a great deal of fish. They're an invasive species. We have infestations and bugs that have come, like the emerald ash borer, which are wiping out entire species of trees all across Canada. And as a result, these trees are not going to be replenished in my lifetime. Different plants have also come in, which are invasive and choking out other species. Traditionally, our people got most of their food from this lake, which was why the islands at the mouth of the Cam River were really important to us. There are species that have come up from all the ships that come through the Great Lakes, St. Lawrence, and up to all of the Great Lakes, and they bring invasive species such as lamprey. There's also inland lakes that have been taken over by crayfish as a result of fishermen bringing boats and not cleaning them properly and draining them. And those crayfish have taken over the inland lakes. If you think about your carbon footprint and you think about how far food travels in order for it to get here, fruit, meat, everything that you get in a grocery store. We know that anybody who lives in Canada, our carbon footprint, especially if you live in the north, is huge. Our homes are heated when we're at work. Think about your school and your buildings that you have in your community, that they're heated even when nobody's there. The amount of fuel that we use because we travel huge distances with our vehicles all have an impact on our carbon footprint. And where our food comes from, often it's the United States or from Southern Ontario. This year I've traveled to 5 different communities and I have 1 more to go. And one of the most shocking things for me is the cost of food, bringing in food as opposed to eating locally. Our carbon footprint, when we have to bring in food, it has to be shipped, but it also has to remain frozen, is incredibly expensive by the time it gets to you. By harvesting food that's local, the food is healthier than meat that's produced on huge farms. There's a lot more protein in moose and caribou and deer than there is from having a cow or getting a pig. And returning to a way of life where you're harvesting your food in your own community, which I know many of you do, is much healthier and it's going to reduce your carbon footprint. I hope this information and these teachings help you in your course and how you walk through life. Miigwech.